This happened to me when I used to live in a rental room. Only after a few days moving into the new room, I had realized that someone else was using my room as well other than me. While I was there, I had always felt like someone was living with me. I even changed the lock of the door thinking that my friend might be using my place to crash after I had left for the job. As he lived in the same area as me, I thought he might have a duplicate key of my room. After some time, things started to disappear from my room. My own belongings started to disappear. Sometimes I would hear a knock on the door, and when I used to go out, there was no one there. On a regular day, I was sleeping when the television switched on by itself right in front of me. The very next night, before going to the sleep, I made sure to switch off the television along with the lights of my room, but around midnight I woke up to a noise. I went to check where the noise was coming from, and I was shocked to see my television turned on. Just as I was trying to make sense of it all, the channel changed right in front of me. Since I was half in sleep, I was not able to make sense of all of this. And then the button of the light in the room clicked and the light turned on. That was when I started to grab my senses. I got a little scared, but I ignored it by saying that I might be seeing things or it might just be my imagination. I turned off the television and went to sleep, but did not turn off my light because of fear. When I woke up the next morning, the light was already turned off. Lights used to turn off and on by themselves. It became so common to me that I was not even scared anymore of lights being turned on by themselves. One night when I woke up, lights were turned on in my room and the door was open. I grabbed my glasses and put them on, and what I saw was that there was a little kid sitting in the doorsteps of my room. He looked about 9 or 10, but what he said shocked me. He said, "When you smoke, I also get hurt. Please don't smoke in the room." He went away quickly after saying this. I quickly stood up and went outside to see where the kid had run off to, but there was no one there. I kept on looking around my room for a few hours, but I was not able to find anyone. In the morning, I left my room and never returned. I took up another room in the area close by, but nothing of such sort happened to me after that. Thankfully, neither the television nor the lights turned on by themselves. This incident happened with a married couple. When Jake and Julie were on a long trip drive, Jake was busy driving the car and Julie was enjoying the view from the window when suddenly the weather changed and heavy rain started. After about 10 minutes of wait, the weather seemed a little calm, so Jake tried to start the car, but the car did not respond. He looked at Julie and told her that there might be a serious issue with the car because of the heavy rain. The strange thing was that it was also raining a little while back, but the car did not do anything as such. Finally, Jake and Julie had to come out of the car and they took a look around. There was darkness everywhere and they were not able to see anything on the road too. Julie saw a light far away. She pointed towards the direction and asked Jake to take a look. As there was no other option, they started walking towards it. When they reached near the light, they were surprised to see that there was a cottage right in the middle of the forest. The name of the cottage was a little strange though. There was an old wooden board hanging outside the door that said Black Cottage. Both knocked at the door. An old man opened the door and looked towards them in a strange way, questioning who they were and why they were knocking at his door in the middle of the night. Jake told him that his car was out of order and they needed a place to spend the night. The old man went inside and took them to a room and said that they could spend the night there because the owners like when there are guests in the house. After saying that, the old man immediately left, but he had a strange worried look on his face. They were both already tired, so they ate what they had and went to sleep. After a few hours, Jake woke up and saw that Julie was not there. He thought that she might have gone to the washroom, so he decided to wait for her. When she did not come back even after a while, Jake got really worried and got up. It was 2 a.m. He was very surprised when he saw that the door lock was locked from inside. He became really scared now because they were in an unknown house in the middle of the forest. If the door was locked from inside, where in the world was Julie? The room had a little bit of light, and with the help of a torch he opened the door and came outside. The corridor looked very silent and dark, so he turned on the torch and took a look around. There were a lot of rooms in that corridor, but all of them were locked. Light was coming from the last room in the corridor, so he went there and opened the door. He was really astonished of what he saw and tried to make sense of it. Julie was laying on the bed and the old man was drinking her blood. A cold suddenly went up his spine and shivered his bones. Jake ran back towards his room in order to catch some breath. Just as he was entering the room, he saw another unbelievable moment. He saw that Julie was sitting in the same bed which he left a while back. Because he was not able to make any sense of all of this and he thought that he might be dreaming, he ran back towards the room where he saw the old man drinking blood, but he found no one there. It looked like the room had been empty for years. And now he was losing control over his head, and he even pinched himself to confirm that he was not dreaming. Before he could ask anything from Julie, loud screams started coming from each one of the rooms of the house. They both ran outside the house after hearing this. Just as they ran outside, they saw the old man already standing outside the main door. So they ran back to the room they were staying in. They quickly locked the door from inside and turned around. They saw the same old man standing inside the room as a ghost. A window in the room was open and a blow of wind came in and turned off the only candle that was providing light to that room. After a few days, the police found the body of Jake and Julie in their car on the road. It looked like both of them had burned in a car crash, but there were no signs of another vehicle there. This still remains a mystery.